Hello, welcome to my show, ladies and gentlemen. Today is 17 April 2020, pretty much in the middle of this lockdown everywhere, just across the world. And it's a painful experience, to be just indoor. As a matter of fact, everybody just experiencing what it, having a taste, taste of what it, means to be in prison. That's what I would call it. Even though it's now exactly the same. Even those in prison will just go exercise for 1 hour. Some prisons are 30 minutes, but what we are experiencing here is very painful. Of course, it's not like prison. You still have your own home. You can still go out to buy stuff like what we are experiencing here in Europe, and you still have the right. Once you have the permission to go out, you have the paper to show the police in case you are come through, and you wouldn't have any problem. All right, I digress. I want to talk about something that is very important here. From this headline, Nigerian government ignores Zakzaky to pardon Ojikalu, other ex-governor G for stealing public funds. It's very ironic. This is a man that said he is fighting corruption. This Nigerian president, Buhari, is what he's telling you, right? When you see what has been going on in Nigeria between the Nigerian government led by Buhari and the Shia leader Zakzaky, and it's something that is not that complex. So this is what I want to break down for you. Before then, it is a shame, that Buhari would just, shamelessly would just came up with such a idea to say, okay, I want to pardon these people, and actually he had just executed that. That is very bad. That's very bad. All right, let's talk about this. For you suckers out there, like I said before, you always believe in what your government is telling you, concerning this man, Zakzaky. So this is what I want to break down for you today. I want to show you the influence of Saudi Arabia in the unlawful persecution of this man, and his followers, just because they are Shia Muslim or Shia Islam. So you just pay attention. Let me quickly show you a diagram here. Okay, this is the diagram that I want to use to illustrate or to educate you as to what's actually going on between Buhari and the Shia leader in Nigeria. And these are Islamic sects, right? Major schools, notable branches. And what you have here by the left is actually the Sunni branch of Islam. Then by the right is Shia. So now, the man, this man right here, Ibrahim Zakzaky, is actually from this branch of Islam, Shia. We know the origin of Shia Muslim is actually coming from Iran, right? So here is Saudi Arabia, mainly Saudi Arabia, So because once you get this wrong, you wouldn't be able to understand what's actually going on in the world, not just only in Nigeria, but in the world. And a lot of you have been bamboozled by CNN, to believe that Iran is a terrorist country, even though there is no single evidence, whether from CIA, from the United States government, or from the little puppet right there, Britain, who is kissing the American butt every day. They have no evidence of whatsoever that Iran has been engaged in any terrorist activity, either against the Westerners or against anyone, or against their neighbors there in the Middle East. They will say Iran is a terrorist country, but they have no evidence to show us what they have done. And they went as far as to just murder the brilliant general there from Iran, Usmani, or it's just a battle just because Saudi Arabia says so. So this is what I want to show you right now. So when you look at this diagram right here, okay, I'm going to break it down for you. Just follow the mouse. So I begin to point out everything right here. You can see Sunni right here, and here you have Orthodox Sunni 1% in Pakistan. All right. Over here, you have, when you follow this arrow right here, you are going to see Orthodox schools believe Muhammad's true successor was father-in-law Abu Bakari. Then after that one, you have another one here. From here, you have India and Pakistan, which is called Barevi. There you have Jubandi, Pakistan, India, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, and they have a part of that in UK. Those are actually the immigrants that moved down there from Pakistan, from India, from Afghanistan, that they established their old stuff there in UK. You have the Taliban. Okay, so now you begin to get the picture a little bit now from Sunni Muslim, right? Then you have Hanafi. You have that one in Turkey, in Syria, Upper Egypt. Turkey is actually majority of Muslim there in Turkey is actually Sunni Muslim, but in Syria, Sunni Muslim, I think they are minority. If let me see. No, they are majority, I guess. Okay, yeah. I'm not sure. So let's come here. I should have checked that out before I do this video, because I don't want to say anything that is not that I'm not sure about. So that's why I wouldn't say. So now you come here. You have Maliki, 15%. They operate in North and West Africa. When this diagram was made, Boko Haram was not existing by then. Otherwise, you will have Boko Haram here, coming from Sunni sect under Maliki, because they operate in North and West Africa. They operate in UAE, Kuwait, Lower Egypt. Then after that one, you have Hanabali. They operate in Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Then before then, you have Wahhabi. Then Salafi. What you might call Wahhabism, Salafism, which is what we have here. Al-Qaeda, ISIS. Is sound familiar? Now begin to just get a picture now. Now you begin to understand where the whole thing is coming from Sunni Islam. ISIS, before then we have under Maliki, Boko Haram is here. Okay, so now you have Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Salafis, jihadism, and it's coming from Sunni Muslim. Then they have Shafi, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, and what we have there, Jordan, Palestine. You see, East Africa, Somali. Remember what's going on in Somalia right there? The terrorist activity that's going on in Somalia. In Kenya, where those Somalian immigrants there are just murdering people in supermarket and everywhere there in Kenya. They are actually Shafi, right? They are all terrorist organizations coming from Sunni Islam. Don't get me wrong, that is who they are. We know that is who they are. That is why whenever they attack whether public places like supermarket, big buildings, and a gathering of people, they run cars into people, they will always come around to clear responsibility. This is not me accusing them. This is me telling you or reminding you of what you have already known. Okay, but you didn't know that they actually coming from this branch of Islam called Sunni, which has its origin in Saudi Arabia. Okay, so there they begin to develop different ideology. They are all terrorist organization. In other words, why I call them terrorist organization? Because that's what they call themselves also, and they will kill anyone who is not a Muslim, because that is what their the ideology is all about. They regard anyone who is not a member of their of their branch of Islam as infidel. Okay, even they went as far as to kill their own fellow Muslim who is coming from Shia. Okay, Shia branch of Islam. Even within these people, they will see fight themselves. Okay, as a matter of fact, that is why you have on most of this country, like in Somalia, they have Sharia there. If you come to a place like Saudi Arabia, Sharia there. In Indonesia, you see the terrorist activity there in Indonesia. You come to Egypt, the same thing there. You come to West Africa, Boko Haram, terrorism there. North Africa, Egypt, everywhere. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Wahhabism and Salafis is very, very dangerous. Okay, now when you come here, Shia Muslim, where you have Iran, because this man is a Shia Muslim. Okay, right? Let's come here. Is it that place? Let me see. Yeah, right here. Yeah. Oh yeah. Zakzaky is a Shia Muslim. Okay, pretty much next to Iran. And when you look at the branch or the sect here under this branch of Islam, Zadi in Yemen, Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia, there are just minorities there. As a matter of fact, a lot of them have been beheaded just because they belong to Shia Islam. In Saudi Arabia, they'll kill them. We remember about 3 or 4 years ago right now, they arrested their leaders there. They beheaded all of them. Okay? It's not because they are terrorists, because terrorism actually is coming from this branch of Islam, Sunni, Saudi Arabia, and all of them there, as you know. All the terrorist activities that took place in Europe, Central Europe, whether you have the one that took place in France, in Netherlands, in Belgium, or in or in UK, were all those that claim the responsibility were all from either ISIS or Al Qaeda or from any branch of this Islam. In Nigeria, Boko Haram, Maliki, they are all from Sunni branch of Islam. So now, when you come here in Yemen, that country was they were okay until Saudi Arabia want to destroy everything there just because Iran has influence there. The same thing is happening in this place here, Syria, where Iran have political or geopolitical interest in Syria. So because of that, Saudi Arabia with United States and Israel wanted to destroy that country, Syria, just because they want to get rid of Iranian influence there. Iran has never attacked any country. They've been living in peace with their neighbors. What I'm saying, right? I'm not a Muslim, I'm a Christian. But I just want you to understand, I don't want it to be bamboozled by your government. I don't want it to be that's so simple not to understand what is going on in the world. I don't want you to believe everything you hear from CNN. CNN, when you look at, is it John King or whatever they call him there? It's SCIA. It's a Jewish CIA before SCIA, an American, I mean to say, it's a Jewish American was an SCIA. And with Blazer, all of them, these are all Jewish people, American Jew, who are pretty much against Iran. They will never tell you that United States, was the one that actually aided, the ISIS. They threw them somewhere in Jordan and brought them to Syria to overthrow the elected government there in Syria. You will never hear that. CNN is not going to tell you that because CNN is working with CIA and the British intelligence working with our government. The same thing was going on in UK. So that is why, you see Tony Blair coming out not so long ago, try to apologize to the British for the pain he has caused. A lot of families who lost their son, their daughters, their fathers, and so on and so forth in that unlawful war, in that unjustifiable war against Iraq, just because Saudi Arabia says so, just because Israel says so. And Saudi Arabia has been having a lot of influence just because of money. So they went to Iraq and destroyed that country. Invasion based on deliberate lie. They know that Saddam Hussein wasn't responsible for September 11. They know it. That's why Tony Blair came out to begin to apologize. But how are you going to bring back those who just lost their life? Even thousands and thousands of them today who are still paralyzed. Some of them lost their eyes. They lost one of their leg or their limbs. Forever. A war based on deliberate lie. And you see now CIA and the rest of them coming out and say that we made a mistake. No, it wasn't a mistake. It was what they always wanted to do, and that is what they have done. Because Iraq was war power, not war power, regional power there in terms of military. American government actually gave them some chemical weapon against Iran. They just invaded, they invaded Iran back, when was there? I forget the year. And they used chemical weapon American gave Saddam Hussein against the Iranians. Up to today, a lot of people are still sick there. So Iran didn't never invade any country, not even Iraq. But it was United States, the CIA, who were aiding Saudi Arabia against Iran because they want Iran destroyed just because Israel says so. And after that, they turned against Saddam Hussein and killed him, even though he was a Sunni Muslim, because Israel says so. Okay, that is why Saudi Arabia have to be careful what Saudi Arabia wish for there in the Middle East, because if Saudi Arabia is very powerful and they don't care whether it is their ally, because today is Saudi Arabia is ally, with Israel and United States against Iran, against Syria, against Saudi Arabia. Against against Iraq. So Saudi Arabia have to be careful what it wish for. Otherwise, they just might turn against that country the way they turn against Saddam Hussein. So, let's come back to this. When you look at here, okay, you see Canada, Lebanon, it's Mali, probably all those Hezbollah in Lebanon. It's under this is Mali, I guess so. Okay, I can't tell because here you see have Lebanon here, 12 hours. Okay, now when you look at, then you hear Alawites, whatever. So now when you look at all the whole terrorist activities around the world, all the way to East Africa, in Kenya, Somalia, to Boko Haram, to all the terrorist activity that have taken place in Central Europe, Belgium, France, none of them came from this Shia Muslim branch of Islam. Not even this sect. Not from 12, not from Ismaili, not from Zaidi. So that is why you have to be careful what you are listening to on CNN. Be careful what you are listening to, on those other government, owned channels, because they are out there to manipulate you, to hate even those who have not done anything, just because they want you to hate that country, those people. Okay. That's why I wanted to just quickly show you this diagram to help you to understand what I'm going to be dealing with. It's not complex. Once you get this right, everything you will get it right. Whenever you hear United States telling you Iran has attacked this, have done that, you will say, now, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, they are not coming from Iran, from this Shia Muslim. They are from Sunni. So that means who is the richest country here in this branch of Islam? Saudi Arabia. Definitely Saudi Arabia is probably sponsoring most of these sects, not all of them, okay, because you have some of them from India, Pakistan. And when you look at what's going on in Indonesia, they kill Christians there. See what is going on in Syria there. They almost banish every Christians there just because Saudi Arabia has just trained ISIS with the help of United States government and Israel. And then they cannot forgive Russia and Iran for standing on their way, in Syria. If Russia was as powerful as the way they are now, the same way they would have probably stand in the way of United States and Britain right there in Iraq, probably with the help of China also, because the Chinese and the Russians are actually working together now to create another power, independent of that United States manipulation hegemony. So now this will help you very, very easy. Why you can see that, I would like to point this out. Why you can see that when you follow this map right here, Palestine is here, Shafi. Palestine there, or the Palestinians are, Sunni Muslim, but they will have some help from Iran. Iran is not helping them because they are of the same religion. Iran is helping them because Iran has some geopolitical interest in Palestine. Because, remember Hezbollah in Lebanon, is being sponsored or funded by, Iran. They are not terrorist group. Don't be always, don't be so simple to be so manipulated very easily for them to tell you this person's like this and you just believe it. In Jordan, in Jordan or in Lebanon right there, we have never heard any of this group there, Shia Muslim there attack anyone. As a matter of fact, Hezbollah is a resistant group. You have to understand that. Once you understand that, there's no way you can be manipulated or be bamboozled, if you will, to believe what CNN is telling you, that Hezbollah are terrorist organizations. Recently, American government had just, designated them as terrorist group, but they are not. The same way they are telling you that Iranian, what they call them, something National Guard or something like that, as terrorist group. They are not. They never attack nobody. You don't call them terror. You don't call a group terrorist group just because they are defending their country and their territory. Those who actually go outside to cause terror in other countries, coming from Saudi Arabia, like I just mentioned before, in Central Europe, everywhere, even September 11. Majority of the people that flew that airplane to that World Trade Center are from Saudi Arabia, but they never want to go there. Money is blocking the way of truth, of justice. I will show you something right here, how even the EU sent a letter to Washington that Saudi Arabia shouldn't be indicted in that very investigation as to who were the people responsible for the attack on the World Trade Center. And why? Because of money. That is why they will keep people in Paris, they will keep people in London, they keep in Belgium, everywhere. They will shut up. They will always say, okay, it's ISIS, it's Al-Qaeda, but they will not say where it's coming from. You are being bamboozled, you are being misled to believe what they are telling you. But today I'm just coming out here to tell you what is going on in the world, and of course in Nigeria. So I started with this to show you that this man right here, Zakzaky is actually a Shia Muslim, very innocent man, just like Iran. And why do you see that everything Iran has done, all the good deeds, all their humility, will always be translated or be misinterpreted? The United States, Israel, and Saudi Arabia wanted to overthrow the elected government of Syria. Then Iran, who is having geopolitical interest in Syria, moved in with his powerful forces to make sure they quench all the ISIS, all the jihadists that were beheading Christians there, because the same way Iran is defending Christians in Iran. As a matter of fact, you can watch any video or a lot of videos there on YouTube. You see American pastors having seminars in Iran with the Iranian Christians. As a matter of fact, you still have a lot of Jewish people in Iran who refuse to return to Israel because they said, according to their what do you call it? What do you call that book there? Forgot. Torah, that it's not the will of God for them to return yet. That God was going to give them sign when the time comes for them to return. That the people that return there, and they are not actually the real Jewish people. So the real Jewish people who moved to Iran, they are still there in Iran. They refuse to return home. A lot of Igbo people are so dumb, I will call it. I'm so sorry to use that word, because if any Igbo person just listen to this message now, he's going to be like, hey, what are you talking about? And that is what is going on in Nigeria. That is why I cannot listen to Nigerian talk show dealing with any issue, whether internationally or thing that is internal there in Nigeria. I am here. I'm a Christian. I am not here to support the Iranian people or the Saudi Arabia people or United States or whatever. I'm here to bring out the truth. If you think that what I'm saying is not the truth, that is why I bring out this diagram for you to understand how things work in the world. Stop listening to CNN and BBC, because you are just be bombarded with lies. They say lies, that made them to go to Iraq and kill their own citizens and destroy citizens of Iraq and destroy their future and their country and their ambitions in life. It's wickedness. So that is what I'm trying to point out to you right here. So whenever Iran have done anything good, it will be interpreted as evil. So that is what is happening in Nigeria, because this man, let me show you something right here. Let me show you something right here. It's very good that you see this first. Right here. Islamic movement in Nigeria. The Iranian-inspired Shia group. I told you before. The Shia branch of Islam is coming from Iran. So these people, as Iran as a country has never engaged in any form of terrorism, any form of invasion. What they are doing in Syria is then doing the right thing, just as was China, or sorry, Russia is doing in Syria, try to protect the elected government of Assad. They are not invading Syria. Who is invading Syria? Israel. Try to sabotage what Russia is doing, try to protect the elected government there. If Russia and Iran and China were there for Muammar Gaddafi, that country will not be destroyed today. So, as a matter of fact, as a Christian, we know that's where Christianity started, in Syria. Apostle Paul met Jesus Christ in Damascus. So the Christians there were not protected by whether Israel, because if you go to Israel now, you can't even preach the gospel. All those fanatic Jews will kill you. They will stab you to death in the street. Just go to YouTube and see. Okay, this is not fake news. This is something that people go there. And one guy was even telling me how a Nigerian Igbo woman was deported because she was out there trying to preach Jesus Christ. You don't do that. They will kill you. Because they kill Jesus Christ, they're gonna kill you too. So that is why they never care about the Christians that were living in Syria. These are the remnants, that still remain there in Syria. American government didn't care, but you see Donald Trump talking about Christian or whatever, that he's a Christian. He's not a Christian. It's an evil man who never care about what's going on with the Christians in Syria. They allowed them to start beheading them. The same thing happened in Libya. A lot of Christians were beheaded coming from Africa, and they also some minorities who were Christian there in Libya. They were all killed. Nobody care. Okay, so what you are saying in Nigeria, this is a man who is suffering. Zakzaky is suffering. They say suffering. The Iranian leaders and the Iranians as citizens of Iran are suffering from. They have unlawfully been targeted by United States just because Israel says so. They see Iran as a threat in the Middle East. Now they have removed, back in the days, in the 80s and early 90s, let's say in the 80s, Iraq was the regional power there, armed to the teeth with Soviet Union weapons. So now who is next? Iran. Of course, Syria was there also when this Assad now, who is there, and his father was a man who wanted to actually build the Syrian military. They are very powerful. It's not what you have in Nigeria, where you have Nigerian military. They never even know what it means to use psychology in warfare. They don't know that. Okay, when you go to Iran, you go to Syria, they have schools, military school, just like what they have in Western countries, where they teach, warfare. They use psychology. So Syria is pretty much like that. Syria is armed with S-300, S-300K before S-400 that is just everywhere right now, developed by Russia. That is that has been purchased by Turkey, and you see that United States and other NATO members are pretty much pissed off that Turkey is going to have that weapon. Why? They are scared that one day that Turkey might have a problem with Israel. Okay, that is the problem. It's not because of any other thing else. Okay, because you see Turkey, Erdogan there, it's not in good terms with Netanyahu, because what Netanyahu is doing to the Palestinians. Okay, so they are scared that if Syria will have, if Turkey will have the weapon, it will be a disaster for the men there, for that state of whatever, of apartheid state there they have there called Israel. Remember, listen, I'm a black person. I have to talk about what I need to support my people first. To say, when you have this apartheid in South Africa, Mandela was in prison, the whole world then decided to react and say, okay, let's just level sanction on the government of apartheid in South Africa. Israel, because they know that they are also going to be doing the same thing to the Palestinians, or to the Palestinians, I mean to say. So they decided to oppose that sanction against South Africa. Even though our brothers and sisters were in prison, were being brutally murdered, and the Jewish people were the one actually taking care of the gold and diamond mining there in South Africa. So they said no. They were ready to die to support the apartheid oppression there in South Africa. So exactly what they are doing up to now. So we need to point this out. It's very, very important, because if you go to Israel today, like I said, apart from you are not free as a Christian, you are not even free as a black person. Okay, they're gonna deport you, right? So when you see people talking about how they be Jewish people, you just go there and tell them that you're a Jew and see what they will do to you. Okay, for you to be a Jew, you need to renounce your religion, and they will even admit black people. Okay, a Jew means you are from Judaism religion. They would even admit you. So you fool yourself to be saying that you are a Jew, even though you are just somebody they don't even care about. If they care about you, you think this is just like the war that took place in Nigeria, the Biafra war, where Israel were, arming you, where weapons were being smuggled through France all the way to Gabon, and from there through Cameroon to Nigeria, to help you to have your own state, just because they want the oil there. Just because they say, okay, now if you have your own state there, but I call everything, we will come and take over that oil. That is why they don't care about you. They don't care about Igbo. Just don't believe that you are Jewish people. They don't give a fuck about you. They were after the resources there, okay? Because they were, bringing the weapon through France to, whatever, Gabon there. That's what happened. You can watch the video. It's on YouTube. I don't know if it's still there right now. How weapons were being smuggled. And that's why after the war, you have a lot of Igbo that actually settled down there in Gabon. Okay, and so let's come back to what I was saying. So this man is being persecuted because of his relationship with Iran. So the groups are some of them are in prison. They are being unlawfully detained and in prison because Saudi Arabia says so. This is what I want to say. I'm finally dropping the bomb right now. The bombshell that Saudi Arabia is the one in charge of the unlawful persecution of the Shia group in Nigeria. Let's watch this place right here. Okay. Here I would like to zoom in. Okay, I think you can see it. Sharia in Nigeria. Previously, Buhari gave his support for the total implementation of Sharia in the country. Now, when you come to this man, this Fulani man, okay, listen, I don't hate him because he's a Fulani. I hate him because it's a feeble leader, just like what we have before Basso George, Jonathan, the rest that were before them. Nigeria never had any strong man like Vladimir Putin. Like strong man like the man that built Singapore. We never had any strong man. When you see what is going on right now in Rwanda, under the dictator called Paul Kagame. But Paul Kagame is a dictator. A lot of people think there's democracy there. No, there's not democracy in Rwanda. And I don't really care about democracy, because you cannot have democracy in a society where people are not yet civilized. It's just what it is. Democracy will never work in Africa. What you need is a strong man who have the interest of his country in his heart. The same thing happened in Singapore. When the man was there, tried to lay that foundational development in Singapore. The whole world were crying and said, "Oh, this man is a dictator." What has he done? He silenced every opposition in Singapore. He made a law that bind any form of discriminations and nepotism, unlike what we have in Nigeria, where Yoruba actually celebrate nepotism. They be speaking their Yoruba, whether you like it or not. That reminds me of what is written here. You can see what is written here on the Nigeria. You see, I'm going very deep into what I'm doing. I'm going here and there, I always tell people, if you are someone who is very simple, you are a simple-minded person, you will never understand or even enjoy my show. So I just mentioned nepotism, how the Yorubas seem to be imposing themselves, their culture on other people. When you come here right now, it's only the Nigerian Wikipedia where you can have stuff like this. It's so childish. That's why you go to the Nigerian university to come out. You will come out like a child. You will learn nothing, or you will be miseducated. Look at what is going on right here. This is Nigerian Wikipedia. Official language as English. So what will have followed supposed to be, language spoken in Nigeria, which is English and Pidgin. I'm talking about national language. But what we have as national language right here? National languages is Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba. Is that really true? As a Nigerian, you want to tell me that people speak Hausa, Yoruba in Delta State, in Edo State, in other states in Nigeria? I don't speak Yoruba. I'm not a Yoruba person. I'm not an Hausa person. I'm not an Igbo person. How can these languages be called national languages? You see, that's what we have. That is the confusion you have in Nigeria. And that is why they will come, they want to impose their own culture, their own stupid language on other people. How can you call these three languages? Let me show you something right here. I'm really pissed off right now. Let's see China. Let's just see China, okay? For you to know how Wikipedia is supposed to be written, okay? Let's see here. Because China also have the I would say almost similar profile, where you have a lot of languages there. Now you come here. Official languages in China, standard Chinese, right? That's official language. Now they call them recognized regional languages. Regional languages. Is that not what we're supposed to have here? Are these national languages or they are regionals? But that is the confusion you have in Nigeria. Okay, back to what I was saying. So the man there in Singapore banned any form of nepotism because in Singapore you have ethnic Chinese as the majority. Is it Chinese or the Malays? But they have ethnic Malays, then they have the ethnic Indians. So the progress you have there right now is because they were taught how to behave. If you look at my video, just check out my profile, you're going to see what the man from Singapore told the Nigerians. That when they started educating their people how to behave, how to live like a civilized people. Because once you teach people that is how they can become responsible citizens. Now, what this man is going through is because of Iran. Okay, the Islamic movement of Nigeria, led by Sheikh Ibrahim Zakzaky, is one of the country's leading organization of Shia Muslim. Nigerian Muslim population is merely Sunni. Majority are Sunni. Why the Shia population have gone through sporadic persecution by the government. Okay, you just hear what I just said before. That's what is written here right now. Now, after the Islamic movement was accused of attack against chief of army staff, it might not even be the one. They might not even be the one at all. Don't believe what you see here. Because you see your man, this guy, he has advocated for Sharia law in Nigeria because he is from Sunni branch of Islam. That is why Buhari was advocating for Sharia law in Nigeria before he became the president. He said that he wanted to Islamize the whole country, Nigeria, because this is what Sunni does. It's from Sunni Muslim. It's not from Shia. It's from Sunni branch of Islam. They do not tolerate any other religion, I may to say. They will kill you. That is why Sharia law comes from this branch of Islam, Sunni, from Saudi Arabia. In Iran, there's no Sharia law there. Iran is pretty much, a secular state. The only secular state you have here in the Sunni branch of Islam is actually Turkey. Whenever they are majority, they want to oppose or impose, I mean to say, their value, their culture of Islam, whatever, their laws on others. Imagine in Nigeria, as big as Nigeria, where I understand that there are about some fraction bigger than the Christians. But if you look at the numbers of the Sunni Muslim minus the Shia Muslim, they are not more than the Christians. But yet, your president was advocating for Sharia law in Nigeria. So when you see what is going on now, the persecution of this man, because this man has a relationship with Iran. Whenever you see any attack in Nigeria carried out by Boko Haram, they will say, is this man? Is a group led by this man, even though they are not. As a matter of fact, this man begin to get some headlines, some attention in Nigeria because of what they were doing, the good works of feeding the poor, of gathering families and feed them. Through their good works, they will convert others. But the Sunni Muslim will kill you. I remember when I was living in Abuja, if you look at them, they would just like, they want to attack you. Say, why are you looking at them? Nigeria used to be like, Senegal, where, like it's a kind of secular state where the Muslims they are on their own. They trade with others, they have friendship with others. Even where you have Boko Haram right now in Borno there, you can see some of those guys, they are missed. Sometimes their parents, their father are Muslim and their mothers are Christians. They were married to each other until they begin to send somebody like this, clerics like this, coming from this is coming from Lebanon, but a lot of clerics, Islamic clerics, preaching death to the Christians, preaching Sharia laws in the northern regions of Nigeria, and your president Buhari was a scholar of that. Until they begin to send people, there were a lot of bad people that actually came to Nigeria back in the early 90s, coming from Egypt, and this man is a part of that. Probably that is not even his first visit. Until they started coming to Nigeria, begin to miseducate the Nigerian Sunnis. I understand Sunni, there's never good thing coming from Sunni. Like I said before, when you look at here, they are all full of terrorist organizations. But when they are in a country where they have other religions, like in Turkey, like in Syria, usually they will have, like when you go to Morocco, they are secular states. They don't kill people. Because that's how surprising looking at, okay, they also have other people who have other faiths. But until they begin to send people like this to Nigeria, then you see the Nigerian Muslims, they became intolerant. They don't want to see nobody. They want to kill anyone. You can't even look at them. You look at them and say, why are you looking at me? They're going to kill you. They're going to bomb you. So your president Buhari is a part of that. So when you see this headline, Buhari order probe into how wanted Lebanese terrorists, ISIS terrorists, got Nigerian visa, don't be bamboozled. Don't be misled. Don't make yourself available for this cheap language coming from your president. It's not going to investigate nothing. He's a part of this team to Islamize Nigeria, right? So this guy was coming there because he's been coming there before. He used fake passport just because he wanted to disguise, because he wanted ISIS terrorists. And where's ISIS coming from? This place. This branch of Islam, Sunni, from Saudi Arabia and the rest of them. Your president is from this terrorist branch of Islam. So this guy is pretty much welcome to come to Nigeria. They are preaching hatred against people like this, as Zakzaky, because this man has a relationship with Iran. That's why Iran have done nothing. Everything that happened is Iran. Is Iran. Is Iran. Is Iran. Anything that thank God that these terrorist groups are not people who would just carry out any attacks and they wouldn't claim responsibility. They always claim responsibility. They are just like gangs. And when you go to the US, you go to a place like California or Compton, you see, once they murder their adversary, in one way or the other, they will go and draw their sign there or spray that sign there, like a kind of graffiti to claim responsibility for the people to know that they are the one responsible. So these terrorist groups always claim responsibility. And when you look at all the terrorists that have taken place around the world, they never shy away for saying we are the one, but this guy have never been. Iran has never been, because they are from Shia Muslim. These are the people that has been. This is an ISIS leader, just like your president, because Boko Haram is under this Maliki. It's here. They operate in North and West Africa, and your president is from here. So you will say, but they arrest some Shia Muslim that time, in Lagos, where they came to Lagos with Okada. But how will you know? Because the same way they are pinning everything on Iran without evidence. So the same way they will tell you these people are all Shia Muslims who are coming to Lagos to carry out terrorist activity. No. If this group led by this man, if they will carry out any activity, terrorist activity in Nigeria, it's because they are resisting the suppression of their group, the arrest and the jailing, or if you will, the incarceration of their leaders. Not just only this man, there are other ones that are in prison. This thing happened in the United States back in the days where black people were being, killed, discriminated against, and so on and so forth. And when those people will now decide to, they decide to fight for their freedom in one way or the other, and they will say, yeah, we told you before, they are terrorists. They're killing people. They are violent people. We remember what happened to Nelson Mandela and his groups. He was arrested because they attacked, the government there. They call them terrorists. No, they are not terrorists. They are people fighting for freedom. Exactly what's going on in apartheid state right there in Israel, right there, where they have to kill the Palestinians. The Palestinians are resisting the occupation of their land. The same thing happened in Lebanon. All these Hezbollahs are non-terrorists. You have to understand that. Don't be fooled. The Hezbollah never attacked nobody. They never sponsor any terrorist Boko Haram in your country. They never sponsor any of those terrorist groups in East Africa, in Somalia, or Kenya. Hezbollah never sponsor any terrorist activities in the Middle East or in Central Europe. All these are all coming from Sunni Islam, led by Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia is where the money is coming from. So don't be bamboozled, don't be fooled, folks. Don't make yourself so cheap like a fool. Oh, come on, my mother is not going to raise a fool. Buhari is the one responsible for the activities of Boko Haram in Nigeria. That's not where he's going to kill them. That's not where he's going to arrest them. If we arrest them, he's going to start releasing them one by one. Exactly what's going on with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is the one arming terrorists like Al-Qaeda. His brother is from the royal family, right? Terrorist activity like ISIS and other jihadists coming from Saudi Arabia that invaded Syria, killing the Christians there, beheaded the Christians there. You want to tell me Saudi Arabia is going to start fighting ISIS? Israel is going to start fighting ISIS? America is going to start fighting ISIS? No, don't be fooled by CNN. They are the sponsor of this group to destroy other nations. So, but you will see United States of America assassinating or assassinated a shy, powerful general like Usmani of Iran. You can see that. That is what we just witnessed. Even though that man hasn't done nothing. Oh, he's a terrorist. He's a terrorist. So CNN is telling you that probably your stupid China there in Nigeria, little children, probably carrying out pick up the same matter of lies. I'm telling you that Usmani was a terrorist. What is the evidence? The same way they call Vladimir Putin a terrorist now because he stood on their way in Syria. Usmani was a brilliant general that studied military using psychology in warfare. It's not what we have in Nigeria where Boko Haram are killing your military. No, Usmani was not like that. He was a brilliant man that stood on the way of Saudi Arabia, Israel, and United States of America in Syria. So what they have done to him, why they just assassinated him, it's not because American military they were very clever to have killed him. It was a simple thing, and this man, they invited him. Usmani was invited to to Iraq by the Iraqi authority to mitigate on the conflict there, okay, because they have Shia, they have Sunni there. In Iraq, there's a lot of conflict going on there. They invited him, he was coming, and from the airport, his convoy left the airport. As soon as they exit the airport, they follow him and kill him. Withdraw. It's not a big deal. Anybody can do that, but it's stupidity to just invite someone like that and just kill them. That is stupid. That's the most stupid thing to do. So Iran has to retaliate it to show that no one is safe, because Iran have all these weapons. Don't see Iran as a little country. Otherwise, Israel would have invaded Iran for a long time. They want United States to do the dirty work, to overthrow, to destroy Iran, the same way they wanted to do to Syria. Even though we know that it's going to be really hard. I'm not saying that United States wouldn't be able to defeat Iran, but nobody want to fight a war where you have to win home with one leg and one eye. So that's why Israel always wanted US to do the war, the dirty war for them. So when Iran retaliated, where they killed their general there, those missiles were very well guided, direct, and hit every target there. On the United States air base, 2 of them or 3 of them in Iraq, across hundreds of kilometers. That is Iran capacity. Iran has the capacity even to go to space now, just because of these sanctions. That is why they haven't been able to actually achieve that. They have the technology. It's a long time. They acquired this technology from Soviet Union and they start developing their own. Exactly what China is doing right now. We know that India has done the same thing. India has been to space and showed their satellites there. Iran is able to do all of that. So that rocket they use, they actually hit the target where the Americans have to just dog, the dock, on the ground, a lot of them suffered, head injuries where they were transferred to, hospital there, military hospital there in Germany, in Ramstein. What you are seeing here, the persecution of this guy, is because Saudi Arabia says so. Is the persecution of Iran and the Iranian leaders and their citizens that has been extended to Nigeria, knowing that once they destroy the interest there, as a matter of fact, Nigeria is a big country where the Shia and the Sunni has a lot of interest, because they have the money there. As long as you always have Nigerian leaders coming from the north, probably tomorrow they will have a Nigerian leader coming from Shia Muslim, who is going to actually help them a lot too. So that is why you can see the activities of Boko Haram right now. It's actually being sponsored by the Nigerian government, by the Fulani man there, Buhari. So they have a lot of interest there, knowing that they will always produce leaders that will be using the money, the country money, to sponsor them. Don't get me wrong, like I said before, these people are not terrorists. When I say they always have this aspiration to have a leader who will be in the politics, or probably this man will be a governor or whatever, is to help them to spread their branch of Islam, but not terrorism. But in terms of these people, the Sunni, where your president belong to, like Saudi Arabia, they will spread terrorism. That is what your president try to do in Nigeria, to spread this Sunni, activities of Sharia law and beheading, intimidations and murder of other people who are not a part of them. That is what the Sunni Muslims do. Okay, this is pretty much what I want to quickly tell you. I hope you get the picture. This man is not going to be this man is not going to be it's not going to be investigated by your government. Your government is a part of that. Just that he's exposed now by what just happened. These are the series of evidence that is coming out, showing that your president Buhari, you see, that's what Yoruba have done. Okay, that's what Yoruba have done. They hate Jonathan. Oh, Jonathan, we don't want, because a minority. Yoruba people hate minority. Every time you see, a minority is in any position, they won't even listen to what you're saying. They think they're better than you. No, that's not the way life works. You will never progress that way. When you always think that majority are more intelligent than the minority, you are nothing but a fool. Intelligence do not base on numbers. It based on individual. Okay, you can have intellectually, just like what happened in Iran. There's this girl here, Miriam. What's the name of this girl there? I wish I could. Let me see. Yeah, this lady right here. Okay, this lady right here, Maria Mizakani. Just go and check it out and see her resume, her profile. What she has achieved in mathematics. We don't deal with mathematics of solving equation that is already invented. No, this is a young girl that passed away at the age of 40 only. What she has achieved. Oh my God. I was crying when I heard that this it's a girl, I would call it, or this woman passed away. It's from Iran. The most brilliant woman in mathematics in the history of the world. It's from Iran. Or what about the other woman also from Iraq? As a matter of fact, when you go to Iran, they have institution of mathematics. That's where this gets started. This is not like what we have with the Nigerians who were born in the US or they moved to the US, they did everything there. No, this woman done everything. Everything he has won. Just check them out. You can check them out by yourself. I don't have time for that now. Faneza School, part of National Organization for Development of Exceptional Talent. Right? So, you don't tell me about your majority. What have you produced that other people have not produced? What is it? Why Nigeria is failing today? Because these leaders are actually coming from these so-called stupid majorities. That's why Nigeria is failing today. Look at Nigeria, for God's sake, and see where you are. And see where you are. Look at Lagos. Richer than a lot of countries in Africa. Lagos is still considered a place that is not safe to live. No water, no toilet, nothing is working there. So how are you better than anybody else? You hated Jonathan because he was from minority. Yes, from minority. That's all we got. You voted this man. You all gathered together with Tinubu and everything, and everybody there, with your stupidity, and you decide to voted in this man who became a terrorist now, sponsored terrorism. Fulani herdsmen coming to your neighborhood there, your backyard, and killing your grandparents, whatever, at your backyard there in Yoruba land. That is what you back here for, with your majority, right? So this is pretty much what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to know where the fight is coming from. I'm very angry right now. You know, the fight against this man right here, the same thing, as Zakzaky, is coming from Saudi Arabia. It's a persecution that coming from Saudi Arabia. Okay? Because this man is next to Iran. The Iranian inspired Shia. They are not terrorists. They have never carried out any terrorist activity. If they have done so now, recent, it's because they want their leader to be free. And that is what any group will do who are being persecuted, whose leader are jailed. Alright? So, thanks for watching. Yeah. See you in another video. Bye-bye.